Good evening all. Hello to all my dear favorite students. This is Dr. Anisha from Sri Chaitanya Educational Institutions. Welcome you all to the most innovative and most useful and your most favorite course, that is Bridge Course NEET 2025 for the aspirants of NEET 2027. So here we have traveled a lot. We have seen many of these classes. Almost here we are on the 6th class of our whole section, and now we have reached a point where we are very much familiar with each other right now. Right guys? Yes, good evening to all my favorite students. Yes, good evening Alia. Very good. Thanks a lot. So this is all of your love and all of your support here that is dragging us towards this whole process of teaching you all. And I really love enjoying and really find it so nice to talk to you and teach you. I hope you all are enjoying too, as well as we are enjoying, as well as we are studying together. So now this is the time when we are going to start a new topic today. Yesterday we had discussed about the immunology, basics of immunology, antigen-antibody interactions, as well as how our body reacts when a foreign substance like an antigen attacks the body. So today we are going to start a very new and very interesting topic, which is called as embryology. So ready guys? Let's start studying and have fun together. So first it is the basics of embryology. Yes, you heard it right, embryology. What is the study of embryology? What is called as embryology? Embryology is the study of embryo, right? And what is embryo? Embryo is nothing but the structure which is formed as a result of the fusion of the sperm and the ovum, that is male and female gamete. All the animals, all the organisms, all the living worlds which undergoes the process of sexual reproduction produces the structure called as the zygote, and zygote undergoes further division to form a structure called embryo. Now embryo is the first structure that is going to be a living whole organism in its future. So this embryo, studying the properties of embryo, studying the different structures of the embryo, as well as what are going to happen further in these embryo, is called as the study of embryos, that is embryology. Who is known as the father of embryology? I think we have discussed it earlier. Who can answer me who is known as the father of embryology? I have mentioned the name before also in earlier classes. Who is going to answer that? Who will be the first one to answer? Father of embryology. Are you guys studying or not? Are you just attending the classes and then forgetting about everything? Father of embryology, father of embryology. Okay, let's revise it again. Von Baer. Von Baer is known as father of embryology. Yes, okay, one or two answers I'm getting, but I don't think Von Baer you remember. So remember, Von Baer is known as the father of embryology. He is the first person who studied about the embryos in detail, and he discussed about the various stages of human embryos. So Von Baer is known as father of embryology. Okay. So what is the study of the embryology? Embryology is a branch of biology that deals with the gamete formation, fusion of gametes and embryo formation. So embryology is not just about the embryo. It is also about how gametes are formed, how these gametes undergo the process of fusion, and how the zygote is formed. Further, from the zygote, embryo is developed. So all these phenomena together forms the part of embryology. So let's start here about the embryology. Embryology starts with the process called as gametogenesis. Let's have a look at the basic stages of embryology. What are the stages of embryo formation? Okay, what are the stages of embryo formation? Various stages of embryo formation. Stages of embryo formation. First stage will be gametogenesis. Gametogenesis, that is the formation of gamete. Alright, Yes, it is difficult to remember the biological terms and words little bit, but as you go through these bridge courses, as you go through further these subjects, you will understand how to remember them. You don't need to memorize them or by heart them all the time. You understand the meaning, as simple as that, you can definitely remember them. Gametogenesis. We already know about the gametes. Gametes are haploid cells carrying the various types of sex chromosomes which further join together, fuse together to form a structure called as zygote. So, gamete formation. Genesis means the formation. Gametogenesis is the formation of different type of gametes. So, formation of gametes is called as the gametogenesis. Is that clear? Formation of gametes is called as the gametogenesis. Next, it is the fusion of gametes. Fusion of the gametes are called as the process of fertilization. Fertilization is the fusion of the gametes. I hope you all are getting it correctly. Gametogenesis, fertilization, and next comes the process of zygote formation, and from the zygote further it causes formation of embryo, embryogenesis, zygote formation, and finally embryogenesis. So these are the stages which are present in the embryo formation. So there are stages: gametogenesis, fusion of the gametes, zygote formation, and further it is the development of the embryo. Alright everyone, all of you have finished writing it. So next, moving on to the process of gametogenesis. What is gametogenesis? Just now we have studied, just now we have read gamete formation. That is called as the gametogenesis. Is that clear for everyone? Now in humans or in higher vertebrates, higher organisms, there are two types of gametes present. One is called as the male gamete, another is called as the female gamete. Alright, male gamete and female gamete. So male and female gametes in humans are called as the sperm as well as ovum. How are these formed inside human body? Inside the human body, the primary reproductive organs help in the formation of primary reproductive organs such as testes, help in the formation of sperms. Alright, and in case of female, it is the primary reproductive organ which is called as the ovaries. Primary reproductive organ in females, it is the ovaries which helps in the formation of ovum. So sperm is produced inside the primary reproductive organ in males, that is called as the testis, and in females it is the ovaries where the ovum is produced. So the process of gametogenesis takes place inside the primary reproductive organs. Okay, now next stage is the process of fertilization. Fertilization is the process which takes place in human body inside a structure called as fallopian tube. Alright, so this is the fallopian tube. Where is this fallopian tube located? This is the structure of the female reproductive system. In the female reproductive system, this is the structure at one end called as the fallopian tube. Now, the fallopian tube is the site for the process of fertilization when sperm and ovum undergoes the process of fusion. So, this is the ovary. From the ovary, oocyte or we call the ovum is released and reach the fallopian tube. Okay, remember this. So, from the ovary, ovum is released and it goes inside the fallopian tube. And now the sperm enters the reproductive system and meets in the fallopian tube. So, fallopian tube is the part where fertilization takes place. So fallopian tube is the site of fertilization of male and female gametes. Alright. So now is the question, which type of fertilization this is called? This is called as internal fertilization. So why is it called internal fertilization? Internal fertilization is the process of fertilization which takes place inside the female reproductive system. So fertilization taking place inside the female reproductive system is called as internal fertilization. So I hope you have understood it is the fallopian tube in human body where the fertilization takes place. So let's talk about the other organisms. Other organisms, in case of other vertebrates, where does this fertilization take place? So in case of other organisms, see, when we talk about the male and female gamete and female gamete are produced in testes and ovaries in most of the other organisms such as the vertebrates and some of the other invertebrates also. Now the question is, some of them undergoes the process of fertilization inside the female reproductive system. That is called as the internal fertilization. But some examples are there where the fertilization takes place outside the female body. For example, in the water or in the soil or any other structure. So such type of fertilization is called as external fertilization. So here we are in other organisms, the fertilization will be of two types. What are the different types of fertilization present? So fertilization is either internal fertilization or it is called as the external fertilization. Internal or external fertilization. Alright. Now internal and external fertilization, just now I gave you the example. Internal fertilization is the one in which fertilization occurs inside the female reproductive system. Inside the female reproductive system. So that is called as the internal fertilization. Now what can be the examples of internal fertilization? Can you think of any example of internal fertilization? Yes. Frogs undergo external fertilization. Very good. Absolutely right. So what undergoes internal fertilization? Humans are the examples. Humans undergo fertilization, which is internal fertilization. Cockroach, that shows internal fertilization. Some of the cartilaginous fishes also show this internal fertilization, as well as the birds and some of the reptiles undergo the process of internal fertilization. So these are the examples of internal fertilization. Now the examples of external fertilization. All the fishes do not show external fertilization. Some of the cartilaginous fishes are there, like the shark, the skates, the rays, they show internal fertilization. Okay. So now coming to the external fertilization, if you want you can write down this example, like cartilaginous fishes. They have cartilaginous backbone. So cartilaginous fishes show internal fertilization, like shark, electric ray, stingray, all these show internal fertilization. Okay, dolphins are mammals. Definitely they will show the process of internal fertilization. So mammals, birds, humans, cockroach, cartilaginous fishes, they show the process of internal fertilization. External fertilization is the process of fertilization which is taking place in the or out of the, occurs outside the female reproductive system. Outside the female reproductive system. Now outside the female reproductive system, that means it can occur anywhere else also. Anywhere else, for example, the water, most commonly it takes place in the water. Other than water, it can also take place in the soil. So in the soil, in the water, this process of fertilization occurs, which is called as the external fertilization. So fertilization taking place outside the female body is the external fertilization. Now what are the examples? We can say the bony fishes like rohu, katla, or the normal freshwater fishes which undergoes the process of external fertilization. Other than that, amphibians show most of the amphibians like frog, they show the process of external fertilization, as well as insects and other organisms like earthworms. Earthworms are annelids. These also show the process of external fertilization, where the fertilization, the fusion of sperm and ovum is taking place outside the body of the female reproductive system. So where is it taking place? In case of frog and fishes, it takes place in the water. In case of earthworm, it takes place in the soil. So there are different locations where the fertilization or fusion of sperm and ovum is taking place. Alright. So this is internal and external fertilization. Now after the process of fertilization, sperm and ovum, they undergo the process of fusion to form the structure called as the zygote. Since we know sperm is a haploid cell, ovum is a haploid cell, zygote is a diploid cell having 2 sets of chromosome number. So it is a diploid cell, zygote will be formed. This much I am very sure all of you know clearly. Now zygote undergoes a process of cell division which is not commonly seen in any other type of cell division. Zygote undergoes a cell division in which what happens? The cell will divide like this first. Like this, the cell will divide. And what happens? What will be formed? The structure that will be formed, the cells that will be formed, they will be, see the cell size. The size becomes smaller. Alright. These 2 cells are now called as the blastomeres. These 2 cells are now called as blastomeres. Remember this very carefully. Zygote undergoes the cell division and as a result it forms 2 daughter cells at the beginning. Obviously single cell division, so 2 daughter cells will be formed. Now this division produces 2 daughter cells which are called as the blastomeres. Clear everyone? These are called as the blastomeres. Now what is it? Which type of cell division is this? This is called as a cleavage division. This cell division which is taking place in the zygote is called as the cleavage division. Now there is a difference between a cleavage and a mitosis. You may have thought that a zygote is dividing, so when it is a cell that is dividing, it can be a mitosis, normal cell division, but it is not a normal cell division. When the zygote is dividing and forming 2 daughter cells, it is called as cleavage. So what is the basic difference between a cleavage and a mitosis? A cleavage division and a mitosis division. Now what are the primary differences? Who all can answer? What are the differences between a cleavage and a mitosis division? Cleavage and mitosis division. Alright. So cleavage and mitosis division, what are the primary differences? The most important difference that you all can answer. Just think of it. Where does it take place? Yes, think of it. Think of use your neurons little bit, use your synapses little bit, use the grey matter of your brain little bit and answer me. Where will you find cleavage and where will you find the mitosis? Cleavage division that takes place in which type of cells? cleavage division takes place in the zygote. So cleavage division takes place only in case of the zygote, right? And mitosis takes place in other cells of the body. Any cell or most of the cells of the body shows the mitosis division. Zygote takes place inside the where the cleavage takes place inside the zygote, whereas normal mitosis takes place in the most of the cellular body. Alright. So yes, you are right. It is the zygote where commonly the cleavage is seen. And once the cleavage division initiates, it will keep on dividing continuously. Now, there is one more very big difference. The cell size. The cell size in case of cleavage division decreases continuously. Alright. So, in case of cleavage division, the cell size decreases continuously. From the large to small to smaller, even smaller, the cell size becomes. So, cell size decreases continuously in case of cleavage division. Whereas, in this case, in the mitosis division, cell size remains the same. Cell size remains the same even in their largest condition, even in their most adult condition. So, cell size remains the same. Alright. Now, what is even much faster taking place? In case of cleavage division, DNA synthesis is much faster. DNA synthesis is much faster and it utilizes oxygen much greater. So, the amount of oxygen it is utilizing, the amount of oxygen utilized by the cleavage division is much higher, and DNA synthesis taking place in the cleavage division is much higher because the cell division is very rapid. This cell division is extremely rapid cell division. This cell division is little slow, so it has got sufficient time to utilize the oxygen to form the DNA, but this is a very rapid cell division taking place in the zygote because within 30 to 40 hours the cells will start dividing and form the daughter cells. So, it is a rapid cell division taking place in the zygote, that is why it utilizes the DNA and oxygen very fast. Whereas in case of the mitosis, it is taking place slowly. So, it is a slow division of the cell. So, it takes place slowly, slow division of the cells, as a result of which DNA synthesis and the oxygen utilization, both of them are slowly. Utilization is slow. Okay, DNA synthesis and oxygen utilization, both of them are slowly taking place. All of you guys are understanding what are the differences? Primarily, one more very important difference is still left, but just revise it once. Zygote, where the cleavage division is taking place. Mitosis is the one where it is taking place in bodies, most of the cells, bodies, all type of somatic cells. Okay, any cell other than the zygote, it is the mitosis taking place. Now, zygote, when it is dividing, it is a rapid type of cell division. Mitosis is a slow division. Since zygote undergoing cleavage division is a rapid division, it is utilizing the oxygen even higher amount, and as a result, DNA synthesis in this is also at a very rapid level. Whereas in case of the mitosis, what is happening in the mitosis? In case of mitosis, it is a very slow process of division. So, as a result of this slow process of division, the utilization of the oxygen, the DNA synthesis, they also undergoes at a very slow pace. So, mitosis and the cleavage division has many differences. The most important ones are the cell size. That is how we can easily tell that the division is mitosis or cleavage division. Now, what is this primary difference? N by C ratio. What is N by C? Nucleus to cytoplasm. Nucleus to cytoplasm ratio increases in case of cleavage division. Whereas N by C ratio in case of mitosis division remains same. Remains the same. Now what is this N by C ratio or nucleus to cytoplasm ratio? Now see here, very simple example. Suppose this is a cell undergoing the process of cleavage, as a result of which two daughter cells are produced. Alright, so these daughter cells have the similar size of the nucleus. It is further undergoing the cell division, so the daughter cells becomes like this. The daughter cells become smaller cells. The nucleus remains the same, but the cytoplasm remains very less in amount. So the nucleus level remains the same, cytoplasm keeps on decreasing in their amount. Here the cell is this much large, this is the size of the nucleus and filled with the cytoplasm. In the next division, nucleus remains the same, but the cytoplasm got very less in amount. Further, the nucleus almost remains the same and cytoplasm is again decreasing. So as a result of which, what happens? The ratio of the nucleus and the cytoplasm, what will happen to it? Nucleus almost, if it is remaining the same, and if cytoplasm is getting smaller and smaller, what will happen? The N by C increases. The ratio of nucleus to cytoplasm, because cytoplasm is constantly decreasing. If cytoplasm is constantly decreasing, the N by C ratio, nucleus to cytoplasmic ratio, will constantly increase. So that is the most important part of the cleavage and mitosis division. In the cleavage division, the nucleus remains the same, but the cytoplasm keeps on shrinking. So when the cytoplasm is decreasing in its amount, the N by C ratio increases. Whereas this is not the case for a normal mitosis division. So what happens in the mitosis division? Nucleus as well as the cytoplasm, both of them will divide. Equally they will divide. Equally the daughter cells will be formed. So N by C ratio remains the same. Same in case of mitosis. In case of mitosis, the proportion of nucleus to cytoplasm remains constant in the daughter cells. Whereas in case of cleavage cell division, the nucleus to cytoplasm ratio keeps on increasing because this cytoplasmic amount keeps on decreasing, smaller and smaller in amount. So it increases the ratio. Alright, you got it clearly? So this is the most important difference between the cleavage and a mitosis. Now cleavage and mitosis is the prime definition for the division of cells inside a zygote. You are definitely going to use this whole concept when you will be studying the embryology in your actual chapters. So always remember, cleavage is the cell division taking place inside the zygote or these embryonic cells, as well as mitosis taking place throughout the rest of the body. Cleavage causes formation of smaller and smaller cells. Mitosis, daughter cells remains of the constant size. Cleavage division utilizes more energy as well as more DNA. Whereas in case of mitosis, it is almost the same. It is slow process. It is not utilizing the excess amount of energy like the cleavage division. And ultimately, the end is N by C ratio. Since the daughter cells are of smaller and smaller in case of cleavage division, N by C ratio increases in case of cleavage division, whereas in case of mitosis, it is almost constant since both the nucleus and cytoplasm are equally getting divided, forming the equal or proportionate daughter cells. So that is how cleavage is almost completely different from mitosis. Is that clear, everyone? I hope you all got it correctly. Okay, so give me a thumbs up, give me a like if you all have understood what is the difference between a cleavage and a mitosis division. Is that okay, everyone? Just give me a thumbs up, everyone. I am waiting for you all. Okay, so yes, you have got it correctly. Now next, moving on to the next part. The next part is the development of the embryo now. Yes. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Karan. Thank you, everyone. Balakrishna, Dhoni, Sushila. Thank you, all of you. Thanks for all your support. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Okay, so now we are moving on to the next part, that is the development of the embryo. Thank you, all of you. Thank you so much. So, what is this development of the embryo now? What is this development of embryo? So, cleavage and mitosis, if we are done through it, now we are moving on to the part of embryo. Okay? Now, what is embryo? Before going to embryo, I'll tell you how this zygote is dividing in case of human embryology. So, we are studying, or we will be knowing the basic of human embryology. So, embryology is the study of embryo. Now, all the organisms who has this structure of embryo will be explaining it or will be having it. We are not going to deal with all the other organisms embryo. We are directly studying the human embryology. Okay. So, human embryology, how does it divide? We have a zygote formed by the fusion of male and female gamete. Now, this zygote will undergo the process of first cleavage division. So, after the first cleavage division, see here, after the first cleavage division, this is the first cleavage division. What is formed here? After the first cleavage division, the structure that will be formed is two blastomeres. So, we will have two blastomeres. At the end of cleavage division, see the daughter cells reduced in size. So, at the end of the cleavage division, this is the first cleavage. So, at the end of the cleavage division, the two daughter cells that is produced are called as blastomeres. Now, these blastomeres are further undergoing division. They will also undergo division like this, and finally, what they are going to form? They will further form four daughter cells like this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 daughter cells are produced. Again, each of them will be called as the blastomeres. Now, we have different names for these stages. Likewise, this is zygote. When the zygote divides, they form two daughter cells. It is called as two-celled stage. This is called as two-celled stage. Two-cell stages, when they further divide, they are called as four-celled stage. Like four-celled stage further divides, and definitely what are they going to form? Yes, you thought it right. 8-cell stage, 2-cell stage will divide 4. 4 will further divide, and they are going to form 8-celled stage. Okay. So, these are the 8-celled stage. All these cells might not appear here. Okay. So, all the 8 cells, if they are not appearing here, then also you understand this is the 8-celled stage. This is called as the 8-celled stage. 2-celled stage, 4-celled stage, 8-celled stage. Okay. And after 8-celled stage, what are they going to form? After 8-celled stage, it is the stage or a mass of cells. It is the mass of cells like this containing 8 to 16 cells. It is this mass of cells containing 8 to 16 cells. Alright. So, 2-cell stage, 4-cell stage, 8-cell stage, all are formed by the cleavage division. And finally, see, smaller and smaller cells. The zygote was much larger in size, but as we move on to the further cell division, we are getting smaller and smaller cells. That is the characteristic of cleavage division. So, now we have 8 to 16 cell stage, and we are in biology are known to give names, because biologists just cannot stay without giving the names. So, we have given the names here. that is 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 8 to 16 cell stage is known as morula stage. Alright, this is called as the morula stage. This is the morula stage. Morula stage is the 8 to 16 cell stage. So 2 cell stage, 4 cell stage, 8 cell stage, 8 to 16 cell stage, that is the mass of 8 to 16. You cannot correctly say it whether it is 16, whether it is 8, whether it is 12. Sometimes it is 10, sometimes it is 14, sometimes it can be 15 also. So these group of cells, they are called as morula stage. So this is the first dominant or first important stage after the process of fertilization. After zygote formation, it is the morula stage, which is very, very significant. Now, why is that significant? We'll see it here. See, in this diagram, we have seen it is the fertilized egg forming 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 16 cell stage. It is this 16 celled structure which appears almost like this. Where is it taking place? All these changes. Now let's move on to this part. This is the structure of the fallopian tube. This is the structure of the female reproductive system. So this is the fallopian tube like this. This is the uterus. Okay, this is the female reproductive system. Now in the female reproductive system, here is the structure of ovary on both the sides. On both the sides it is the ovary. This is the fallopian tube like this. Okay, fallopian tubes has this finger-like structures like this. So this is the fallopian tube like this, and here it is the ovum coming out. Fertilization takes place here. So it is the site of fertilization. Is that clear to everyone? This is the site of fertilization. Fallopian tube is the site of fertilization. So ovary releases the ovum, the sperm also reaches here. So this is the place where fertilization is taking place. After the formation of the fertilization or fertilized egg, here it is the 2 cell stage here. It will keep on rolling inside the fallopian tube. So 2 cell stage here, 4 cell stage here, 8 cell stage here, and 8 to 16 cell stage here, and now it reaches to a point where it is going to get settled inside the uterine cavity. So this is the part, the 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, 8 to 16 cell stage, that is the morula stage, is present in the fallopian tube, and when morula further divides, it forms a different structure. It is now ready to get settled inside the uterus or uterine cavity. This structure is called as uterus, where further growth and development of this embryo will be taking place. So 2 important things we need to know. What are these 2 important things? First most important thing is the morula changes into a structure called as, morula changes into a structure called as, what is it called? Morula changes into the structure called blastocyst. Blastocyst is the structure, and this blastocyst is the structure which gets settled inside the blastocyst, settles in the uterus for further growth and development, and this process, the blastocyst, is further going in the uterus layer, uterine layers. It is settling itself for further growth and development, and this process of settlement is called as, what is it called? This is called as implantation. This is called as implantation. Alright, so this is implantation. Okay, this is called as implantation. Now, what is implantation? Implantation is the phenomenon in which the blastocyst will settle down inside the uterine cavity for further growth and development. This process is implantation. All of you got it? What is implantation? What is blastocyst? This is implantation and this is blastocyst. What gets implanted in the uterus? That is blastocyst. Okay. So now let's revise it again. Inside the fallopian tube in human body, there is fertilization of sperm and ovum taking place, which forms the fertilized egg called as the zygote. Now the zygote undergoes a different type of cell division called as cleavage, as a result of which first a two-celled blastomeres will be formed. These daughter cells are called blastomeres and this is called as the 2-cell stage, 4-cell stage, which further divides to form 8-cell stage, which further divides to form the 8 to 16 cell stage. Now this 8 to 16 cell stage is called as, it is called as morula, and morula enters inside the uterine cavity. It further undergoes division, it further undergoes changes to form the structure called as blastocyst. Blastocyst inside the uterine cavity, uterus, female uterus, undergoes settlement inside the female uterine layers for further growth and development. This is called as the process of implantation. Implantation is same as the process we sow the seeds of a plant. It is exactly the same process how we sow the seeds of a plant. We take the seeds, we make pit in the soil, we add the seeds, we cover it, we add water, we add nutrition, and after some time the small plantlets starts coming out of the seeds. It is exactly the same way the blastocyst will settle itself inside the uterine layers. So this process of settlement of the blastocyst in the uterine cavity for further growth and development of this structure is called as the implantation. Alright. So this is the process of implantation. Clear everyone? Now what is it? Now the question is, further embryo will undergo the process of growth and development. There is one small difference of the terminologies. Embryo. In case of human, it is the 8 weeks stage when we call this an embryo. Okay. So 2 cell, 4 cell, 8 cell, this is taking 30 hours, 40 hours, 60 hours, 7 days. At the 7th day, the implantation takes place. So likewise, 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 8 week, when the embryo is 8 weeks old, it develops many important organs. It develops many important, or we can say most of the vital organs. So develops most of the vital organs. Vital organs like the heart, the kidney, the lungs, the brain is almost developing. So now this structure is no more called as embryo. What is now it called? Now it is called as fetus. Do not pronounce it as fetus. It is not fetus, it is fetus. So now it is fetus, embryo. When it is more than 8 weeks old, it has developed most of its vital organs. It is now called as fetus. So fetus has many developed organs, many developed vital organs like the heart, lungs, kidney and the reproductive structures. So this is about the embryology today. Let's solve few of the questions. Let's see how much you can answer right now. So this is the First question for all of you. What all we have studied till now, we'll just go through it once. The site of formation of male and female gamete is respectively where the male and female gametes will be present. Where are they formed? So who is going to answer me the first question? Site of formation of male and female gamete respectively. So where the male gamete is formed, where the female gamete is formed. See the sequence and answer. Okay, Lasya is the first person. Very good, but the answer is not respectively. Remember the word respectively. So you have to see the male gamete first and then the female gamete. No, not the one. Answer is not one. Answer is testis and ovary, because respectively male comes the first, testis, and female the second, the ovaries. Respectively means you have to arrange it in that particular order. So male gamete is formed in testis, female gamete is formed in the ovaries. So the first answer will be 4. Yes, very good everyone. I am so proud of you all. Very good. Next question is, who is going to answer it first? The site of fertilization in humans. We have discussed it so many times. What is the site of fertilization in humans? The site of fertilization in humans is, what is it? What is it? What is it? Yes, who is going to answer this question first? The site of fertilization in humans is, what is it? Who is going to answer the first? You all are still answering the first question. Okay, yes, it is fallopian tubes. Very good everyone. Very good students. Very good. Keep it up. Yes, it is the fallopian tubes. Very good. Absolutely right. Next question is the type of fertilization in frogs. We have discussed this also. The type of fertilization we see in case of frogs. Frog and amphibian, we have discussed it. So who is going to answer it here? Okay, so the answer will be yes, yes, yes. Okay, very good. Most of you have got it correctly. It is the externally in the water. Frogs and fishes, they show external fertilization in the water. Very good. I am so proud of you everyone. Very good. Next question is the stages of development in humans that is not present inside the fallopian tube. Read this question carefully. This is a little tricky question. So the development of the human embryo which is not taking place in the fallopian tube. Not taking place in the fallopian tube. It's a trick question. Let's see how many of you get it correct. Blastula, 2-cell stage, fertilization or zygote. Which stage is not there in case of fallopian tube? What is not happening in the fallopian tube? Okay, yes, very good. Most of you have got the answer correctly. It is blastula. Blastula is the stage which shows the structure blastocyst. See, if you go by this method also, that 2-cell stage is there in fallopian tube, fertilization is taking place in the fallopian tube, and zygote is also there in fallopian tube. So, which is not there in fallopian tube? It is the blastula stage which is not there in the fallopian tube. So, stage is blastula, like morula, like that blastula, but the structure is called as the blastocyst. And this is the last question. Do this properly, then you are really going to be great in embryology in future. So, which is the answer? Which among these are true for cleavage? Which among these are true for cleavage? For cleavage division, which among these are true? Okay. The options are daughter cells are called as blastomeres. Cell size continuously decreases as the division further goes ahead. N/C, nucleus to cytoplasm ratio increases with every cell division as well as occurs in the zygote. So, what will be the answer? Very good everyone, very good. So, the answer is all of these are correct. All of these are correct. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely right. All of these are correct. So, very good everyone. You have done it very correctly. And I hope you have understood what is embryology about and how we study embryology. Starting with the process of gamete formation, the process of fertilization, the location, the different stages of cells and the cleavage and mitosis division. So, all the best for you all, and I hope and I wish you all that you study well embryology in future so that you become a master in embryology and other subjects too. All the best everyone. Keep studying and keep rocking. Thanks and goodbye.